always reminisce about it, and I was literally saying to Alex earlier, I'm having like a full circle moment just being back. And I think a lot of that had to do with being passionate about what I was studying as well, so just actually enjoying my degree fully, meeting different people, having that sort of community around me. I really, really loved that about the semester, and that just helped make my journey a lot more easier. And yeah, so I think a lot of the worries I had towards the end of my degree, so I think like in my final year, because we were still in COVID, so we weren't on site and anything like that, we were quarantined. It was very hard, so a lot of my worries were, again, will I be able to find employment? Do I exactly know what I want to go into? There's a lot going on at that time as well, because dissertation is a very big part of our degree. That was really worrying. I had that on the back of my head, and then I knew I wanted to sort of look into my options. So I was running a campaign, I think doing my dissertation, doing an internship. So I was trying to keep all my options open, basically to see what I really, really enjoyed and where my passion really lies in. And of course it was becoming the Vice President of Welfare, and I put all like my effort and time into that, and then was elected. So like straight after basically graduating, I went into working for a student union. Having all those worries, that's what I basically did to overcome that, is keeping my options open and going into different areas of work and seeing what works best for me and yeah, what I'm basically passionate about. Because when you're really passionate about something, you will put 100% effort into that, and that's when you know this is what I want to do, this is the road I want to follow for now.
Do you know what's crazy? What really helped me being at Westminster, it's a bit unconventional. There's two things, right? With me, I've always enjoyed writing, so when I was little, my dad always made me read a book and rewrite it, and if I didn't, I wasn't allowed to play my PlayStation. I was forced into it. So when it came to doing essays and dissertations, don't get me wrong, I've done it last minute as well. I'm not perfect, but I didn't have an issue with it. So I think carrying that into university, my work revolves around me sending a lot of emails, making a lot of calls, speaking to clients. It's a lot to do. So I think it's the discipline, and being able to carry that over to university was what really helped me.
Just remember that those same people are in the same positions as you guys are right now. When I'm in a room full of people with suits and they're speaking all this gibberish to me, I'm gonna act like I know what I'm doing, because fake it till you make it. And I'll just remember that, okay, this one time this person was in my shoes, and they were also just fresh out of university, they've just graduated, they know how I feel, they know that I'm actually kind of scared to probably go approach them, and I may not say the right things, and I may not have the words to express myself properly. And if they're nice, which they usually are, they'll make it easier for you guys. Like once you go into those rooms and with those people and you're having those conversations, it'll start to flow. You just, again, be yourself, talk about what you actually wanted, speak about your worries. Basically, the main thing, just remember that they were all once where you are, I think.
My number one advice would be you really have to study the behaviours, and that's the way that you can progress with your application. The other thing is, and I did this personally, otherwise I know 100% I don't think I'd have the job I have right now, you have to speak to people in the civil service. Because on paper, just reading those behaviours, you'll interpret them in your own way. But from an insider person, hearing how they understand it and what they look for, that's very, very beneficial. So definitely reach out to people on LinkedIn. You can also reach out to me. Ask people for example behavior questions, how they answered questions, and then you apply them to your own experience.
The only way I could really stay true to myself was by not doing a master's straight out of uni, taking a break, looking for employment, and if I really wanted to do a master's, I'll go back and do it. Now that I'm in my career, unless I'm going to make a massive career change, I probably won't do a master's. But my company does offer things like apprenticeships, so at any grade that I am, regardless of how senior I am at my company, I can do an apprenticeship. Your company is always looking to improve you as a person. That improves your employability and it improves the person they've got in their company. So if you want to do things like further studies during your time at your company, then you can do that.
I already knew beforehand I wanted to go into the civil service, so I was mainly looking at jobs in the civil service. But what I would say to you is the reason why I found out that you can go into pretty much anything is because whilst I was in my jobs, and this is previously as well, whilst I was working at a consultancy, so they're called Jericho Chambers, they were focused on not just the public sector, but all different things. So they were working on like taxing and accounting and finance, but I was still working there, if that makes sense. And I thought to myself, surely I can't be working on things like that because my degree is completely unrelated. So I'd say what you should do is look for anything. If you're just looking for jobs, look for anything. If you like the role and if you like the place, if you just scroll down to the essential criteria, if it does mention that you need to be a finance graduate, for example, that's a tick for you. You can go and apply for it. But I would say LinkedIn is your best friend when navigating your careers. If you go onto jobs and you pick and tailor your job search to what you want to go into, I'd say that's probably the best way to do it. Because more times right now, if you look, there's already so many opportunities, and even with me, like I have people working with me who don't even have a degree, but they're working in the same job. So don't ever think that what you study limits you to what you can apply for. Because more times, 80% of what you'll be working on, you'll learn on the job. That's just a formal qualification that you have to have in the society that we live in. But most of the things you will learn on the job. And there's so many L&D opportunities that companies and different, like public sector, private sector offer as well. So I'd say definitely use LinkedIn to navigate your career and apply to anything that doesn't specify a specific subject that you have to study.
First thing I'd say in terms of interviews is always ask the interviewer a question. That's like the top tip. Always have a couple of questions ready to go about company or the culture of the company or the day-to-day role you'll be doing when you come there. It shows that you've taken an interest, it shows that you've researched the company. In terms of notes, we now do our interviews face-to-face. We encourage face-to-face interviews. We are happy for you guys to bring notes into the interviews, but what we don't want is someone who has clearly researched and is just reading off the paper. We want you to come across more natural. So I would say have notes, but don't make like scripts. One thing I would say is the STAR method does work at the beginning, but our company interview now based on competency. So rather than doing it based on your experiences, we now ask, what would you do in this situation? And it will be related to your career.